structuring deals with FSBOs step by step. Step one, we got to get our lead generating machine, we got to get our buying machine cranked up, and we got to get people calling us. If we forget this step, the rest of it doesn't matter. If nobody's calling you, you can be the smartest real estate entrepreneur in America. Also the brokest. The brokest, is that a new word? You see, you got to get people calling you with opportunity. So we're going to talk about some examples in this module. I'm going to give you enough examples to crank up your buying machine to get you to the point to where you're going to have plenty of business to handle. If you're looking for a more sophisticated buying machine, if you're looking to really get serious and you're looking to get a ton of sellers calling you, we'll cover that in greater detail in the Lease Option Bootcamp module, where we have more time to spend on marketing tools, and which also includes all of the marketing tools necessary to do the job. Let's talk about ads first. Everyone that is in the business of owner financing or lease options should have an ad in the paper. Your ad should be in your regular daily newspaper in whatever city you're in, and frankly, folks, I don't care what it costs. It doesn't matter. The cost is going to be in the neighborhood of $300 to $400 per month for a 4-line ad or so. Little old simple ads. I got a lot of them. I used a lot of them. I'm telling you, the ad that I've used for most of my career that works right up to date is I buy houses, cash, any condition, any area, and your phone number. It has never failed. It has never failed. When you run this ad, you got to leave it in the paper. You cannot run an ad campaign, hit and miss, and get effective results. You cannot figure out when some motivated seller is going to call you. And what I see happening is people will look at the cost and they say, man, it's going to cost me $400 to run this ad for a month. I think I'm just going to run it 2 weeks and cut my cost in half. Well, which 2 weeks do you not run it? Believe me, when you got your ad out of the paper is when the sellers were going to call you. You just don't know. If you remove the ad for 1 day, that might be the day that seller picked up the newspaper and would have called you if it had been in there. Let's say it cost you $400 a month to run your ad. That's $5,000 a year. How many deals you got to miss in a year to pay for your ad? A piece of one. A piece of one. You owe it to yourself to leave your ad in there 365 days a year. Don't ever take it out. And don't even dream about being one of these Sunday ad folks. You will get 10 times the amount of calls during the week as you do on Sunday. 10 times. Do not run the ad on Sunday and expect miracles to happen. You wouldn't hurt to change your ads. If your calls start falling off, change it. Try 2 or 3 different ads in a year. And monitor your results, see which one ad is working the best, and when you find the one that works the best for you, leave it in there until it quits working, and don't mess with it. Only when it quits working do you change it, and it may never quit working. Remember now, the same people don't read that section of the newspaper every day. So it's not like you're getting people bored with your ad. The only one that's going to get bored with your ad is you. As long as it's pulling calls, leave it alone. So, make sure you have a live answering voice answer the telephone. If you're going to run the ad and you're going to track calls to you and you're going to put it on your message machine, you're wasting 50% of your leads. People who call on an I Buy House ad, if they don't get a live voice on the end of the phone, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? They're going to call the ad right below yours until they get a human voice that gives them some ray of hope. When they get that human voice that gives them that ray of hope, they feel like they got something working here. They may or may not call another ad. Usually they don't, especially if you tell them you're going to come out and look. So make sure you have a live voice. Now, let's suppose you just can't answer your phone all the time, which nobody in this room can, and nobody listening to these tapes will be able to. If you can't get some trustworthy family member to do it, the next obvious choice is to get yourself a live answering service. Live answering service. and let them take the calls. Let them pre-screen the calls. Ray Rock, could you come on up and enlighten these folks about what you're doing now? Ray Rock is super busy. Ray Rock is in the real estate business. He just doesn't have a lot of time to go out and talk to people where there's no reason or no way he can do a deal. He's created himself with a little system. This is not a new system. It's just new to him. I'll leave that up there for you. Why don't you just tell him what you're doing right now? See, Ray said in my class, he does wholesale deals. Ray made $200,000 last year, 6 hours a month, doing 20-some-odd wholesale deals where he simply buys them and sells them without ever taking title to them. He's heard me talk about lease options and seller financing so much, and he's seen so many students out there kicking butt, he can't stand it anymore. So what are you doing about it?
That is true.
What?
There's a young guy that went to a lease option class in Jacksonville. We had one in January, and he calls me, and I walked him through a couple of deals, and he made $50,000 in 1 week. And I told him, next week, Bob, I'm going to be your competitor. So I put an ad in the paper. My ad reads, new company in Jacksonville will buy your home all cash or lease with the option to purchase, all price ranges, and then I have a phone number. And I have a phone answering company take the call. And they have a script. When the people get on the phone, they get their name, phone number, property address, first mortgage balance, mortgage payment, second mortgage balance, and the mortgage payment. Would you like to sell your house, or would you like the lease option, or both, or either one? What is the value of your house? Do you have your house listed with a realtor? And where did you read the ad? Because I run two ads. I run one in the Times-Union, and we have a local shopping guide where I have an ad. First week, I ran the ad. I got a guy call me and told me that he had 6 realtors turn him down. They would not list his house because his house was same value as his mortgage balance, right? And there's no equity, so they wouldn't list. And he asked me, he said, well, how are you going to make any money? And I told him, first of all, I'm not going to give you any. And I did. I told him that, and he kind of chuckled. And from there, we had a good arrangement. I put his house, I optioned his house, lease optioned his house. I have put somebody in that house. He made 2 payments. I got $5,000 up front. His mortgage payment is $687. I get $825, and he doesn't care if I ever sell it. It doesn't matter to him. All he wanted to do was move to his next job and not have the burden of that payment. So it's easy. I don't do anything. At the end of the day, the answering service fax me all the replies. I look at them. When I dial the phone, I know what I'm going to say. The information's all there. So it's all very, very, very easy and simple.
Ray?
What is my ad? You live in Jacksonville?
Yeah, don't give him the ad.
Okay. Ad reads.
Hey, wait, no, he had to buy a tape to get the ad. No.
Okay.
I'll give him the ad.
Okay. The ad reads, new company in Jacksonville will buy your home, all cash, or lease with option to purchase, all price ranges, and then the phone number. We're only allowed to do that twice.
That's right.
Ray?
If you want to, just see me in the back, and I'll have it written down for you, and you can, rather than going over it and over it.
All right, question over here.
What category do you place your ad in the paper? You put under real estate wanted?
Real estate wanted. Mm-hmm.
Ray, you got to tell them a story about Todd.
Do what?
Todd?
Oh. It's gone. Now he'll do another one.
Oh.
My son is ultra conservative, and he went to Ron's lease option. And the first week he went home, first couple of days, put an ad in the paper, and he had a house, had it under contract, $115,000 house. There was an $80-some thousand loan balance. The guy was in the military, took an early retirement, was going to Texas, and Todd was sitting there talking to him, and the guy looked at him and said, "Todd," he said, "Is this the first time you've done this?" And Todd looked at him and said, "Yeah." So, and the guy signed the form. He does have at least.
And later on, you found out the reason he signed it because Todd didn't lie to him.
That's true. Yeah, the guy appreciated his sincerity. Yeah. He does have it. It's gone now. Somebody's moving in the first of the month.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he thought he was going to have to make a payment, and he was scared to death.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Ray. All right. Todd's a mechanic, by the way. That's why I can relate to him so well. You know, I used to be a mechanic. Come home with grease under my fingernails, my hands all burned up and skinned up, and they didn't have any knuckles left. I can remember those days. Spent my days under those hot hoods dealing with all those crabby people I had to deal with. Okay. So make sure somebody live is answering your calls. Ray just gave you a great idea on even pre-screening them for you so you can leverage your time to the best. Now let's talk about some ads here. Here's some. They're in your module. I'll read them off to you. I'll buy or lease your house, make your payments, do repairs, close quickly, any area or price range. That ad usually always gets calls. Okay? I buy and lease houses, any area, any condition or price. That one works. New company is programmed to make your house payments, no obligation, risk, or cost to you. Do you have a program to make their house payments? A student gave me that one. He says he's kicking butt with it. That's a neat idea, isn't it? That's a neat idea. Local company can buy or lease your house within 24 hours, any area or price range, no cost or risk to you. All those ads should work. All those ads have worked. Except, they probably won't work where you live.